So, Dark Fate, I absolutely loved the film. Did you feel any pressure signing on again to such an iconic franchise that you were a part of?
Yes. Didn't see it coming. You know, like, really? At my age, kind of? Which, you know, I hate to bring up age, but, you know, it just didn't occur to me that they would want me to return all these years later. I had turned down the third film because there just wasn't really anything new, and there just wasn't the impact, and I really am only interested in telling stories that have characters that are evolving and that have characters that you really can care about, and I think that's the element that's been missing in some of the recent Terminators. You know, just they get all the action, but really it has to be character driven. So we focused really heavily on bringing it back to its original form and you know, sort of reducing not the story and the action so much, but reducing it to characters that you really learn to care about. And then the fact that 28 years has passed gave me a lot to work with and to bring to the screen every day. So finally, reluctantly, I said yes, and then I was all in.
I think just the scope of the thing felt so, well, enormous, and just, I don't know, it was just an entirely different arena than anywhere I'd ever worked before. So it just felt like you'd have to learn how to act in this world and use your body in a way that you've never used before. Everything just felt so unbelievably foreign to me. So it felt intimidating.
And the characters were amazing in this film. And you also talked a lot about fate in the movie.
Yes.
Do you believe in fate, or do you believe that we create our own futures?
A little of each. I sort of like to walk that line.
Yeah.
My grandpa used to say, like, if you're not experiencing deja vu and you're not experiencing that moment where, like, you think of someone and they call you, or you're like in Paris and you see somebody from your neighborhood, you know, when you're not experiencing that, that means you went off course at some point. So he definitely felt that there's a fate, maybe, or destiny. But I kind of agree with him in that sense. But I also believe that, you know, this whole universe is a hologram, and it could take the shape. It will take the shape of what I desire, what I want.
I agree with that.
And and the fact that we're both having this moment together is kind of a miracle.
Yeah, I think it is a combination of so many things and, you know, conditions that make things happen. But I do think, you know, you work hard, you do your things, and you try your best, and you also need some luck, and you need so many things, but you have to work for it.
It is a nebulous question. I mean, I really do believe that, you know, with hard work and good manners and a plan and, you know, pursuit of a plan, that we really can create our own futures. But I know that's not possible for everybody. We don't all have the same opportunities.
Yes.
So, and I also believe that a lot is predetermined, and that I'm a bit of a Buddhist, so that we come here with some karma to work out, and you better get it done or you have to come back.
If there's a world, if there's a universe where all my dreams come true and I get to battle Arnold Schwarzenegger and be with Linda Hamilton and this fine cast, then why not this one?
Can you try? No, I mean I can't. I got it. Hold it. Grace, what?
Now, without giving too much away in the film, there was a pretty crazy scene involving Mexican detainees at the border.
Yes.
And with all that's going on in the world, what emotions did you feel while filming that scene?
Oh, it was really beautifully handled, and it was a very sensitive situation. Tim Miller made a speech before we began, when we were all locked in our cages, and I get goosebumps down my body because he cried. just the burden of what we were putting on film, and to try to do it authentically without bringing out just the very worst part. I mean, it had to be hard for a lot of those people. We had just hundreds and hundreds of extras. So Tim handled it very sensitively.
I mean, Tim shed some tears when we were in there. I know I did, and privately. Even though it was a movie and they were just extras, and it was still, you know the reality of the world and what's happening. So we all knew what the weight of that, what the weight of that was. We didn't think, we hoped that it wouldn't, we hoped that our film would have been a little bit dated already by the time people see it, but unfortunately not.
I think it was pretty intense. I mean, we were shooting this scene in Budapest, so we were so far away. They were actually bringing people like Mexicans and Latin Americans from Spain. So it was like a whole set, and we were all shooting a scene. And suddenly we were there, and we were living and feeling how it was, and thinking, this is real, this is happening. There are kids by their own, just like sleeping in the floor and separated from their parents, and we all got suddenly we're like, oh, this is something, this is not right. So actually Tim, our director, who's really sensitive, and he was human and humble, he just got the mic and he was crying, and he was just asking everyone to forgive his country, to make this happen, and he was so ashamed, and it was just really hard scene to actually do, just to think that this is a movie and we're telling a story, but there's something there's something real we're showing, and it's really sad and not human.
So let's put it in people's faces. Let's let them encounter it. Let's let them see what the world is, and let it land on them however it may.